Hello everybody, how are you going? Welcome back to looking at what $1 million in Canada gets you. Now previously we did Toronto and that showed up some fairly mixed results going, okay, some of them seemed great bang for buck and then other apartments were quite expensive for what you were getting. However, today I just want to be traveling over to the other side of Canada and just see what Vancouver has on display, so to say. So that is, what? Is that not Vancouver? Hang on, why does Washington have a Vancouver and then there's a Vancouver there? Okay then, so let me just, I guess, be a little bit more specific about Vancouver up in Canada. There we go, Vancouver, BC, all that way north, all of 200 kilometers or something like that. But what do we have, especially once I go a minimum or a maximum of $1 million? A maximum of $1 million and we shall see what comes up. So already, there's a 2-bed, 2-bath, 800 square foot, so I have to try and rejig my brain, condo for sale. Condominium was the new word that I learned last time, for $500,000. What does it actually give you and what does it look like? What do you get for 500 grand? Because I feel like the perception would be that Vancouver would be more expensive than Toronto, or at least on par. But this so far seems like it's cheaper. So, I mean, okay, decent views, all right, nice and clean, fairly modern. There's nothing to really do with it. It doesn't seem like there's any problems to be fixing where some of the other ones, I mean, I don't know what this entire storage shed would be, but some of the other ones that we were seeing over in Toronto were more dilapidated than this ever would be. They are loving their location shots though, and look at this, just the snowy white as well. They feel like they've really somehow got photos from all seasons. I don't know how they've really done that, but look, it's like bright and sunny to an extent is what it feels like. That photo versus this photo down here, there's a bit of a difference. And I don't know how long this has been on the market for, but clearly they are trying to sell and to show what the winter wonderland could possibly be. But what do they say? A 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom and large balcony, solid concrete building in one of the best locations for 500,000 Canadian. And I also just want to be knowing where exactly is it? Okay, so it's up the north side of that, but it doesn't seem to be in any particularly bad area. It's on its own little spot, almost close to beaches. So I'm confused now. It's been on for 40 days, 2,000 views, but why does it seem like it's a really good deal in comparison to anything we've seen previously? But look, as good as that is to kind of set the entire benchmark, I do think that I just want to be knowing, how do houses fare? As they can be more worldly. You're not relying on so many different factors coming into it, like views and everything like that. So if I just go houses, nothing shows up, which is interesting. Shows you how built up Vancouver really is. I'm trying to get a scale about what that kind of area is, and maybe I could expand out to a little bit further in a moment here. But 56,000, I hope there isn't a house for 56,000. No, it's a studio, and they start out with a car parking spot. I don't even think that's called a studio. I think that's called a car space for 56 grand. I guess that's fairly fair, and that's where then it felt weird that the place up here came with a car spot and it was actually a house for less than 10 times that. But no, this is what I'm here for, the 999, aka the $1 million home. What do you get for $1 million? You get 5 beds, 2 baths, 2,793 square feet, which I think it's divided by about 10 to get to square meters. So 280 square meters, that seems pretty small. Maybe that's why it's a decently cheap house in comparison to anything else that apparently isn't showing up, because it's over $1 million, but an undivided, half interest being offered for sale only. What is that sentence? Anyway, this offering is only for 50% of the property while someone else owns the other half. Aha! Now I understand the pricing scheme here, as it did seem very, very cheap for a 5-bedroom house. Very unique, prime South Granville location on the quieter park of West 57th Avenue is my guess. Nice clean home and some updates over the years, including kitchen, cabinets and everything else. But what does it look like? 1,576. It's just crazy that North America has these stupidly big numbers. Nowhere in Australia realistically ever has a house that is that big of a number. We get triple digits and I guess fairly high triple digits, but I don't know virtually anyone that has 4 or even these 5 or even 6-digit places. It doesn't exist, and I don't know why it seems so common. Like, I feel like I've never seen number 12 or anyone lower than a triple digit home. But either way, just scrolling on through, I guess, is this the half that you will own, or is it just showing the whole house? I would love to know how that entire almost strata scheme would work. If you own half the building, is it literally like a duplex style? Are you owning 2.5 of the bedrooms? Do you have half the car spots? Even half the driveway or path or anything like that? It seems like it could be a complicated situation where you're almost like a share house in a renting situation, but you own it. No, I have no idea how that would possibly work, especially from a bank's perspective, trying to actually fund that. No, thank you. I feel like there's a reason that it's been on for 100 years. I was going to say it's surely 165 days, only 1,000 views. Interesting. Why is that? Why does the other one have double the views that this one does? Again, though, I'm just interested to know where exactly is this place in relation to everything else, because I clicked it, but I didn't really take that into consideration. So it's directly south of where the other one is, not close to any beaches in particular, like not as close. I mean, that's not far from the Fraser River, but it's certainly not just sitting on its doorstep. And so it seems like a bit of a weird situation, and I can understand why it's going to be one of only a couple that were possibly deemed houses. I mean, actually, I think looking at the right side there, it is the only place that is technically a house out of anything. You've got probably a studio being 1 bed, 1 bath, and then just 2 car spaces. It shows you a lot about Vancouver. And so in that regard, Vancouver must be more expensive. As Toronto, there wasn't any limit of how many places. I surely didn't look at them all. And this one, I could look at all of these in about 30 seconds. So I guess if I expand my horizons a little bit and just see what is out there, wow, I'm interested to see what's out here. 885, and what about this? 975. I'm interested to see what can you get for 975, almost $1 million, 3D tour. That looks pretty darn cool, I must say. I'm pretty impressed already. Oh, that photo, I want to see this one. Look at that. That's a little cabin in the woods. It's beautiful as well. I mean, that view, the area, nice. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And I guess this isn't exactly general living like you would find in a city, but it's not going to be for everyone. And so someone can have a work from home position. Maybe they can afford the $1 million, and maybe they can just go live in their wildest dreams up in the forest. I mean, of course, it doesn't have that more modern feel to it, but you know what you're getting into, especially compared to the first apartment. If you're going to be spending 500 grand on that apartment or $1 million on this, they are completely different worlds. But honestly, for $1 million, for double your money, it kind of feels like you're getting double your money if that's what you're after. So what do they actually say about the entire thing? A cathedral A-frame. True, is that, I guess that's how you would describe it. I knew it was an A-frame, but the curve is really quite interesting there. But a cathedral A-frame is nestled amongst and above the trees on a private half-acre as well. That makes a lot of sense. Built in 1970, interesting, with a stunning sunset view looking west across Collingwood Channel. The British just love to name every place they went the same. Collingwood is a Melbourne town, but this Collingwood seems a little bit nicer than the other Collingwood that I know. This one seems like the one that everyone loves to love, and the other Collingwood is the one that everyone loves to hate. But again, I've also just noticed the address of this place is 843. Why is it not like 43? Why is it 843? Because surely there's not that much of a built-up area around here where you can just be having that many houses. You know, even if I kind of zoom out, we start to lose the roads, but you can see, like, what is every single one of these houses just numerically numbered in ascending order from one end to the other? I don't get why it's so high, and I don't get how it's so high. So if there's a reason, please let me know. But it's just such a North American thing. I mean, I guess also I don't know, or I don't think the UK has that same problem, so to say. I don't know what else you would call it, but 843 on just this rural block, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, but I didn't come down here for any of the last ones that I've seen, and just look at all of this extra information that they have. So basement equals a crawl space compared to a large basement. That's something that would never ever be advertised in Australia because it doesn't exist. But here it makes sense, just all of these places to be having their basement, especially then advertised going, oh, it's only a crawl space. Well, I can't live there. I need all my everything rooms just to be putting down there. But appliances, washer, dryer, refrigerator, and stove. Refrigerator, interesting that that's included as part of the house. I mean, maybe they don't want to be bothered to remove it because it's in the middle of nowhere in the grand scheme of things, but to have a fridge come with a property, I would love to know if that is also fairly common as well, because it's not common in Australia. And it's just all those nuances that you go, why has it diverged along the line? I mean, I've heard from, I don't know where I heard it, but I believe in Germany, like, you don't even get the light bulbs, or you don't even get anything like that. Like, it's just blank slate. But hey, how about we now just cruise over a little bit more to the east and see what far eastern Vancouver has on offer for us. That's $1,999,000. What do you have? Here we go. This is more just a generic looking property. And why then, for $1 million, is this one this compared to Bowen Island? I mean, maybe is Bowen Island the hassle tax of the island. I mean, for some people, it's going to be perfect. It's just like, yes, please give me this property over here compared to anything over here. But for $999, for the same price, basically, I know which one I would be taking if I could afford to be taking them. I mean, of course, I have no reference point about what areas should cost what and why certain areas will be expensive or not exactly enticing or anything like that. But this one seems a little bit different compared to some of the other ones we've seen. Like even compared to the $1 million half property, I feel like if you want to live in the city, then that's probably going to be, I guess it's only half a property, so it's not really the same thing at all. But it is nestled in the beautiful Silverdale area of West Mission. I've never heard of an area called Mission. This gorgeous 1 acre property offers an opportunity for sweet equity or sweat equity. Huh? Am I reading that wrong? There are so many words that just keep catching me off guard because there's so many, I guess, just general vernaculars that are used that are never used in Australian commentary or Australian descriptions. The only thing you ever see in Australian descriptions is, well, one, how much it can probably go for rent, and two, that it's both the perfect renovator's delight, the perfect first-time buyer's experience, the perfect move-in turnkey solution, and also the perfect just downsizing one. Like, they just got to cover all bases, where I haven't seen really any of that, at least not to the same far off reaches, where I guess the last one did say something along the lines of a first-time buyer, but it's not just the first thing that they mention. Oh, but that's interesting. This basement entry style home. Is that on stilts, or I guess I haven't really looked at the photos that particularly. I mean, that doesn't really look like basement. That looks like stairs up to a door. And I mean, you might not be right at the main level, but that doesn't really seem like basement to me. I'm not disputing it, but I wouldn't have thought that that's even a thing. Like, it's just kind of the front door is where it is. And then you have stairs inside. Oh, okay. Oh, it's like a mid-riser level from what I'm getting from these layouts. So you come in? Am I crazy? And then you go in and then you can go down or up? That seems kind of inconvenient, certainly from a building perspective, because you can't just make the front door then just open into an entire place. You have to then make a landing and stairs and do all of that. I mean, if there's a reason for it, I'd love to know. Is it an area of flooding? Is it anywhere like that? Do you want to do that because, I guess, to keep the snow off the front door? Anything like that. But still, why not just build the stairs up to the main level and then have internal stairs go all the way down instead of a half-half situation? I mean, I've also noticed that the ceiling height is listed as 8 feet, but then also lifted to 7'11". And of course, that's the two different levels, but really, are they out there measuring by an inch and going, yes, we have to tell people this? I would never have seen anyone that is just going to have to advertise the general ceiling height. I mean, if it's going to be in Australia, like 5 meter high ceilings, they'll say, yeah, it's, I guess, 20 foot high ceilings or anything like that. But not if it's just generic ceiling heights, especially to be measuring it and going, they're not both 8 foot. They are 7'11". We don't want any false advertising here. What also is this getting around a walk score? 0. Not even a 1, but 0. It is car dependent. I guess it makes sense in this kind of an area, as I guess actually surely a 0 means there's just nothing, not even buses. I was going to say, okay, there's not going to be a major train line, but 0, just in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we did see a little bit of satellite view before, it just immediately loaded it as it, especially when I just make it full screen so I can actually see what's going on here. But I mean, it doesn't look like it's too far removed. You can see the urban growth and urban sprawl there. It's not the middle of Vancouver, but at the same time, to have 0, like not even a bus run that comes once a day through there. Walk score is measured by the walkability of any address based on the distance to nearest places and pedestrian friendliness. Wow. Okay then, why is it then a 0? Like, that seems so low. Not even to have a 1. Like, I would think that a 0 would be, I don't know, alert or something like that. Like, to have nothing, and it's not even that far out, seems crazy. If this would be a 0, or not even, I don't know where you would put a 0, just keep coming north maybe, and then you'll find a 0. But for this place to be a 0, that's pretty poor, and so maybe that's what's influencing its price as well. Now on to our next one though, with a little bit of change of tune. It was in a different area, of course, but it's also a very different building, and straight off the bat, I'm noticing that it's not built up, but more so, I mean that by the fact that it's not 2 stories, where it seems like every property in North America is a 2-story property. If that's not even including the basement or anything like that. Maybe this has a basement, but considering the fact that it has a twin garage just like that, no stairs, no stairs at all, that seems very, very unlikely. Actually, there is 1 stair. I do take that back, or maybe even 2. I'm not sure if that white bar is door or if that's no more stairs. Either way, this looks just very Like, the outside doesn't look new by any means, but that's fine. We're more weatherboardy, like the houses around it. But then the inside has just clearly been renovated, or at least has a major new fresh coat of paint. All the square set ceilings kind of makes it very, very clean and modern on the inside, I'd say. I mean, it's a little bit full of furniture, I'd say, in these first photos. Maybe just thin it out a little bit. The styling can not go as hard, just having the couch and this massive ottoman or table, whatever you want to be calling it, in the middle there. Also kind of surprising that they haven't styled it showing you how you would configure a TV in there. I feel like that's a fairly common thing to do, but hey, if that's what they've decided to do, they can go for their lives. But no, this place for $1 million in its location, which I guess I should show just so everyone understands what we're looking at here. If we come down here, I'll just zoom on out. It was, like just south of the other one. The other one was up, I've lost it. I think it was up here. Wherever it was, though, I believe that is just a little bit more east and a little bit more in this main urban sprawl area, especially if I go not street view. I can go street view, but hey, it's good to see. Look, double house, double house, double house. Any other singles? No. More interesting that it's kind of weatherboard. I would love to know again, is that true weatherboard? Is that, I guess people were telling me in the comments that it's not brick building. Any brick building will be timber built and then just veneered and facaded with brick. But why is this house not so high? The only one around that isn't 2 stories. And my God, what is that down the end? I hope that's a school or something and not someone's house. But actually, to be honest, I haven't even looked at its specs, so to say. So it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1127 square foot property. And I never know, I guess that's the land size. Oh no. So they list the house size, which is also something that's quite different. Not many people in any Australian real estate will ever list the house size compared to the lot size. So it's a 4,791 square foot lot. So is that a almost 500 meter square lot? That seems about right. Yeah, it doesn't look too big, but it doesn't look too small. And also, what do they say? Wow, this gorgeous 3-bedroom, 2-bath has been meticulously maintained. That's certainly what it looked like. Just the square set and all the paint. It looks fresh, but then it doesn't look like it's just been ripped out and renovated. So it's clearly been meticulously maintained, like they said, and beautifully updated. Home features an open floor plan with classic white kitchen, black granite countertops. Okay, beautiful laminate flooring throughout. French doors off the dining room lead to your large covered patio. There's a hot tub. I didn't see that. Where was this? Did I just not scroll down far enough, or did they just not show it somehow? Oh, I definitely didn't scroll down far enough, as I didn't see any of these photos. Okay. Well, they're clearly actually kind of not adventurous, but they're not just I can't think of the word, but they're not just singular in their styling. They've got green, they've got grey. There's a lot of that kind of styling, but at the same time, it's kind of nice that not everything looks the same. A bit of a funny double door curved shower, and the clock right there. I think this place just needs to tone it back a bit with the density of their styling. I don't know if it's been styled or if someone is just, that's the property, but I think for sale, they maybe could have stripped it back a bit. Maybe it just look a bit more like a magazine, makes it look a bit more big. But where is this? There it is, the hot tub right there, or aka the spa leading straight off the deck, uncovered. Fair enough, I guess that makes sense, so you can look up and see the sky. I'm surprised it doesn't have some more like laser light, so maybe you could be in there and not be in the snow, but maybe that's what people want. Maybe people want to be in the snow in winter, but just so hot and toasty. 4-foot concrete crawl for loads of storage. Does that mean basement? 4-foot concrete crawl? It didn't say basement anywhere, but it's only from what they said before. If I actually, here we go, show more, basement crawl space, so it must be, so it's 4 foot tall? Where do you put a 4 foot tall basement here? Like, what, is it just basically built on stilts? So they dug a hole, and then they put 4 foot of air gap, just because they could, and then they built the house on top of it. Does it have a floor plan? It does. Where is the stairs? There isn't any stairs. So it's a separate basement. I'm so confused by North American properties. Like, does it have a basement? Does it not have a basement? How do you get into the basement? But there's so many questions. Oh, but then also, yes, given what they've said here, what is it where they're getting around score, the bike score and a walk score? They're really stepping up in the world, going a 63 bike score, which sadly I do not have anything to compare to, but 70 is only somewhat walkable. Wow, I guess maybe an 80 would be walkable. 70 is not crazy. But still, to have a 70 for this one compared to a 0 for the last one, that's why I was so surprised about it. Like, not even a 5 or an 8 or a 13 or a 30, no, it was 0. Like, it doesn't seem like it's that far-fetched to be thinking that this one compared to the last one shouldn't be infinitely better in terms of walkability. But if it is, because for whatever reason, then let me know. Why is some of these areas just built up that much more? There must be within, I mean, my scale's probably a bit off, but it feels like 10 kilometers of one another, maybe even 20 kilometers of one another, and it goes from a 70 to a 0. For $950, I don't even know where it was because it came up on the right side, but where is this place for $950,000? This quite large place looks like it's, oh god, I'm lost. Okay, so it's quite a long ways out. Fair enough, that makes a little bit more sense, but what do we got? 3 bed, 2 bath, 1,500 square feet, but 5 acre lot, and first time offer to the public. Interesting. Why is that? Log house featured beautiful river rock high. God, that's not where I expected it to be going. Wood fireplace. I was going to say beautiful river rock river or something, but no. Kitchen with new countertops, solar panels, metal roof, primary and walk-in closet, jetted tub. Is that a spa bath? Is that what a jetted tub is? Detached oversized 2-car garage with expansive shot and air compressor. It truly is quite the place, and you can see that by this. I don't know. Is it 2 houses? Like, are you sharing the driveway? That's a greenhouse you've got it on as well. Your own little pond. It's clearly gone a little bit over the top, or not over the top, but it's clearly providing many things. That's a serious fireplace, and I now see what they mean by the river rock pebble fireplace. My god, they're a lot bigger than I expected. Did they say pebble or rock? River rock? Or beautiful river rock high efficiency wood fireplace, not pebble. At least it didn't say pebble, because that was going to be some seriously big pebbles with a random fan next to it. But the green, nice, the green and the white new bench tops, like they said, they're clearly featuring the kitchen, but that is what I like to see. Just this beautiful timber work, that zigzag pattern from the log cabin, timber everywhere, floors, ceiling, walls, everything. I mean, it makes sense if you're just going to be having it in an area like this. People are going to be wanting that kind of feel, and it's going to be warm, that's for sure. But just these joins, all the timber work, the round timber, the flat timber, the ceiling, I can't get over the ceiling. And then they've gone, it feels like though, and put laminate flooring throughout. And I would love to know why that is. Is that just for a wear and tear perspective? So you put a timber floor, and then from there you can put a laminate floor over, so then you can, I guess, eventually just replace it and not have to worry about the wear and tear on the floor, because the timber will scuff and get dirty and all those kind of things. Whoa, well, that is a serious shower for one, but a serious shower divide. Those massively thick glass bricks. God, that's insane. I mean, look at the size of the shower as well compared to the size of the bath area. That's crazy. And it's also just why I love looking at all these places, because you do just see random things like this where someone just thought that was the best idea in the world, and other people will go, why did you do that? I was just loving this property, and then I saw the shower and the bath situation, and now I can't buy it. It really just does continue though. Look at this into the other separate living area. It was over in this place, which I guess also has a spare, I'm also seeing a hot tub, so to say, but it also has spare garages, or is that where the garages are? I'm so confused by this entire property and what is actually included, especially considering we basically started with a half block. But again, a huge shower, nice little stair in the shower, but they just continue. And this is clearly quite the property to be buying. It's for a certain kind of individual, and if this is what you want for your $1 million compared to some of the other $1 million listings that we've seen, I reckon it makes sense. So we've seen this place for $1 million. We've also had places like this up on Bowen Island for almost $1 million, and then we've also had half a property for $1 million, $999. So it really does allow you to take your fancy, whether you want a large place, a private place, or half a lot for $1 million just in the middle of the city. It does have it all, and I do think that maybe it feels like Vancouver offers more variety than Toronto, where Toronto was more of the same place, but because of the kind of geography of Vancouver, you can get whatever you want for your money.